Dad!
Party poopers.
Dad!
Bring your family together. Optus Family Plan with 4 SIMs and 250 gigs of data to share.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Meta. My name is Ewan Midnight Reed. Joining at my side, of course, is Benjamin Tico Lee, and we have ourselves 3 full games here for the Meta playoffs.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so this is week number 3 of the live casted games because we love cameras, but this is the second week that we have NBA 2K. Because we unfortunately did not have any last week, but that's fine. I mean, we got to sleep in a little bit. Not that I'm complaining, but we're back with NBA. Yeah, I know, really. We're back with NBA 2K20 on. I'm not gonna say week 3 because it's not week 3. We've been through so many weeks already with Meta High School Esports, but we have 2 players from the same university. Not university.
Cool.
These guys are in high school. Macleans College, which is in New Zealand, in Auckland.
And it's almost a way, it looks a bit weird that both competitors are coming from the same school, but it should still be quite a good banger here. So we will have, I love the names as well. We have Overkill Gamer on one side of it, and he'll be facing up against Silent Distortion. I must admit, kind of jealous of the Silent Distortion. I kind of love that name, but they will be butting heads to head. And this is actually for New Zealand as well. So these guys are basically trying to represent New Zealand for NBA 2K. But before we dive any further forwards, of course, we do have to give thanks to our sponsors. You can see them, of course, behind myself and Tico. That is going to be Acer Intel, of course, of Optus, Torrens University, and Harvey Norman. So thanks to them for helping us run everything today. But Tico, coming into this, we do know the teams that each player is running, and they've got a bit of star power ready to go.
Yeah. So the starting lineups, we have the Golden State Warriors, which is a rather significant team when it comes to professional play. They have players like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins. I think their starting lineup as well consists of Draymond Green and Eric Pasch. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but Eric Paschal. I'm not even going to try and butcher that one.
Wish I was going to clip that.
Yeah, they are actually going to have a go at me. But on the other side, we have the Milwaukee. Oh, actually, who's playing on which side?
So we have Overkill Gamer is going to be running the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And facing up against Distortion, who's of course running the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, so Silent Distortion is going to be running the Milwaukee Bucks. We saw them 2 weeks ago being played by another player as well in their finals. I believe that was for Queensland, New South Wales. I don't know.
New South Wales.
Yeah. And their starting lineup for Milwaukee Bucks consists of Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe, Dante, and Brooke. Like, I'm not even gonna. These names are too long.
You're trying your best there, but well, we do dive head first into the games here. Of course, it does kick off at the beginning of the second quarter here, and the game state is pretty clear. We do get to see Silent Distortion already 10 points up while rocking the Bucks. Make that a little bit more than 10.
I mean, he's rocking a strong team. Like, I'm not surprised that the defense is really strong with the Milwaukee Bucks because they have some really tall players. Their defense is really good. They're good with their 2-ways as well. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised that they're ahead, especially when they have the height to go into the key, as well as just being able to force the ball forward.
Yeah. And this is kind of what we expect coming out from both of these players. With the lineups that they decided to go for, is just constant aggression. I mean, we're seeing it here, just back and forth, fast break after fast break after fast break. And honestly, it's really effective. And this just a classic Australian saying: "If it ain't broke, why bother trying to fix it?"
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, each team has their own play styles, and the way I love the way that he's playing with the Golden State. Like he is, whenever he has the ball with in Steph Curry's hands, he's like, "Yeah, you know what? Let's try for the 3 pointers. We know he's strong with them. We know that he's capable of taking those. So might as well try and get some points back
Hmm.
with a strong 3 point shot."
Exactly. But unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be working here right now. Again, 12 points down already coming in here for the second quarter. Is already putting yourself into a bit of a hole because you now need to basically ensure that nothing works out for your opponent's offense here. And honestly, good luck stopping the Bucks when they're on a really good offensive blitzkrieg. It's just not going to be able to do it as we're seeing. Yeah, there's going to be just some nice easy goals here from the foul.
Yeah, I mean, he's got time. Free throws, not the hardest ones to miss, but I mean, especially when he's got a powerhouse like Giannis, he's going to be able to do some crazy things. And I mean, we know how athletic this man is.
Yeah, he takes over games single-handedly there. So should be able to utilize that one quite nicely. So far, the goals it's still sitting at an average 10-point lead coming in here for the side of Overkill Gamer. No, sorry, not Overkill Gamer for Silent Distortion and his Bucks. And the problem right now for Golden State and Overkill is where is his opening?
Mm.
Where is he going to find this option and say, okay, I'm going to be able to catch the lead up here? Because the inside game, I just don't see how he's going to match the Bucks blow for blow. And so far, his long range artillery style with Curry just isn't working itself out.
No, I mean, we were talking about how well the Bucks are going to be playing this game and how much height they have, how much power they have.
Ooh, that was nice.
That was a really good turn as well. But I mean, when you look at the Bucks, they have a solid defense. The way that he's playing with them is really strong. Look at the defense
Mm.
there. He's holding him so well.
Yeah, and all if you look where how tight his men are actually playing defense, it makes a lot of sense. Golden State, if you give them room to shoot, they are going to nail them just like that. So
Steph.
you have to stay up on them at all times. You can't do I don't know if it's got a proper name for it, but we call seashell, which is you stay 2 steps away from the guy who's about to receive the ball. You just can't do that against Golden State.
Hmm.
So really good adaptation from Distortion to be like, okay, it's Golden State. I'm just not letting them pop shots in from the outside.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw how well he played it when he got that spacing. Give Steph Curry some spacing,
Oh,
get the right lift off, and he's going to be able to take 3 pointers every single day of the week.
mm. But now, if you look, oh wow, look at the percentages there. 48% there on the. I think that was. I believe that was shooting goals. I couldn't see the exact wording. Is oh, that's annoying. Oh no, that's a tilter of a pass.
That yeah, real unfortunate. I mean, he got the interception, but he wasn't able to recover the ball, and it does get sent back all the way back to the start. So they will be able to reset that. But Giannis,
I'm gonna say normally I'd be worried when you only have 10 seconds to get the ball down, set up a play, and go for it. But when you got Giannis, just drive. Like why? Why not at this point?
yeah, and giving him a couple free throws should put them at an even bigger lead. They're currently sitting at a 12-point advantage, so they're sitting pretty comfortably. But that is not anything to say that the Golden State can't bring this one back. I mean,
Mm.
they have potential. They're only in the second quarter, so they should have time to do so.
Oh, there are plenty of opportunities for them to come back. The biggest thing I think we have to keep our eyes open for the Golden State, ironically, is 3 points, because we're seeing it over and over and over again. The Bucks are just driving into the heart of the key, and there is so little that you can actually do to stop a dedicated Buck player who's like, "All right, I'm going inside." So you need to pretty much get threes almost every single offensive round until you break even. Which for Golden State normally, I'd say yeah, no problems. But it does appear that Golden State are just the shots just aren't working. Again, that's credit to the style of defense that Distortion has decided to go for.
Mm. Yeah, and I we do have to give them credit. They are holding this defense pretty strongly as well. A good attempt coming out from him, but he didn't have too much time left. But I mean, he now has a couple free throws in his back pocket that he could, try and utilize.
You should be able to get these in. It's a bit surprising to me that there are so many fouls coming out from our Golden State Warriors player here. It seems almost a bit unnecessary
Mm.
from Overkill to one degree because there's a point, for example, if Giannis is in the key up against your small guy, you're not stopping that. Even if you foul him, the likelihood of him, you can't just keep doing that. So we'll see how that plays itself out. I really like the foul here, though. Slows the entire play down. Now Golden State have to try set up when the defense is going to be all over them.
Ooh, he
Like
had
that.
time. Unfortunately, he didn't hit green for that one. And now they send it down the other way. A good fake, and he's going to be able to lay that up into the net. A beautiful pump, a beautiful play.
And every offensive round that does not work for Golden State is just another disaster coming in here from the side of Overkill because he's now falling behind to the point where recovery is starting to become a serious question. There are some game states you can recover, but when you're only in the second quarter and you're not able to break past this 10-point lead that Distortion's been holding for the entirety of the second quarter, you need to come up with a new plan because right now this style of okay, let's just give it out to Curry, let's do some long range shooting, it ain't working, buddy, and you need to come up with something new.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's getting the quick passes going. He's trying to force something in there, and he does manage to pick that up. But I mean, I feel like that's not the sort of play style you want to rely on to be able to pick up some points.
I think what could be because we're seeing the players in the game itself are getting a little bit on the tired side of things. I think this might be the idea of okay, let's build up a nice lead in the start of the game, and then third quarter will be where Golden State has to fight back because either the your lineup's going to be absolutely exhausted, or you're going to have to swap out some of your stronger players off onto the bench. So
Mm.
either way, third quarter Kiko I think is going to be so important for Overkill's potential to come back.
Yeah, well, I mean, he potentially could be waiting for that as well. I mean, I think that he notices that Milwaukee's getting tired and that there is potential for them to be able to, play around that, and potentially get something back in the second half.
Fake, yeah, that's nice and easy to put that one in. Sitting, the league's nice, but 10 when you have to start swapping out your key players is a little worrying because right now you're mostly going toe for toe as you lose that rebound. I don't know how you managed to lose that one. This should be good. No, not able to get that either. You do just throw it out. So we've now reached the halfway mark in the game. It's 9 points in favor of Distortion and his Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm really worried, Tico, because yes, you're going to start swapping players out. Yes, you're going to have the timing to be able to punish them in this third quarter, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough because, again, the superstar of the state, Curry, and his, 3-point shooting, I don't know how available that's going to be because Curry's going to be tired as well.
Yeah, I mean, we say that, but 9-point difference between the two teams. That is three successful shots from Curry or three successful shots from any of his teammates. Because let's face it, I mean, Golden State isn't the Curry team, even though some people might say it is. But but it's, yeah, well, still, the Golden State do have a chance to come back because I think they have an advantage when it comes to the exhaustion. I think they have an advantage when it comes to bringing it back within the second half. They have the time and they have the potential to do so. And it's up to Overkill, I believe. He's rocking Milwaukee.
No, Distortion's running.
Distortion is running Milwaukee. It's up to Distortion whether or not he's going to continue running with the same players or if he's going to bring in a new lineup and change up the starting roster.
I personally feel like you kind of have to swap up your roster a little bit because yes, you've got a fantastic starting lineup, and of course, Giannis, you could go on for days on how strong he is on the court. Exhaustion is a thing, and there's a point where yes, you can keep running them, but they're just not going to be effective. Give them a quarter off, and then throw them back in for the fourth if you're getting a little bit worried. I think is the direction that is a bit more safe to go for. Yes, we'll find out because we should be getting ready for the third quarter here. And it looks like, it doesn't think he swapped him out, actually. It looks like Giannis is still on court.
Well, I mean, halftime, you get a little bit of time for a break. So hopefully it looks like he wants to be just run out his players before he actually gets a swap, or decides that he doesn't want to swap at all. It's up to him. We'll see what he's going to do with that. But the Golden State, they do get the early points, and now let's see if they can bring this game back a 9-point difference once again.
Yeah, and we're going to be sitting at this point difference for a while. It's
Mm.
blow for blow each and every time here. As we're seeing, very aggressive foul coming in. I'd argue that's a bit unnecessary there. You weren't really in threat of too quick of a fast break going on you there. But for now Overkill and the Golden State, he has to be almost, again, converting 3-pointers in this third quarter is going to be just so critical. But again, you see the defense style coming out of the Bucks. I just don't see how it's realistically going to happen. They're playing really hard ball. They're constantly up in their opponent's face.
Oh my gosh.
That's okay. That's a bit disrespectful.
It's a little bit.
Oh god, he stole it.
It's a bit cheeky, but I mean, if he has the lead, why not try and extend that lead with 3 points? A good shot as well to be able to bring them at a comfortable lead once again. 11 points. Steph isn't going to go up for those shots, but they're just taking their time now. I love that he is waiting to see the openings to come up before he actually goes to the shots, making sure that he knows exactly where he wants to go. A good fake, a good pass as he gets that one pass.
Like there. For the side of the Bucks and Silent Distortion, I don't feel like there's a need to be cheeky because you've already gotten yourself a 13-point lead. All you need to do now is continue to build it up incrementally because the Golden State's offenses, half the time, they're not netting anything, which means he walks away with 0 points under his belt. As we'll see in this play, shot clock's running down. They're going to have to do something with it or risk losing. It's going to be a panic shot. Nah, that's a good sum up of the defense we're seeing out of the Bucks. Despite all the time he got to set up, there was nothing he could do. This hard press coming out in the key area is just such a pain. And you see on the other side where they're just too tall.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it before. Milwaukee, they have a solid lineup when it comes to the defense. They really need to just wait it out and hold their defense because they don't necessarily need to keep scoring points now that they have a lead that's growing bigger and bigger every time they push it up to the other end of the court. They're also taking their time with the shots, but all they really need to do is hold off, and we do see potential changes coming out from Overkill.
Yeah, Overkill. And this is the Golden State. This is going to be so important because he now has, obviously, what he's doing isn't working. He needs to find his openings. But the question is, what is he going to try use to contest his opponent? Is he going to try pull in some more height? Or is he going to simply just change the it looks like he's just actually changing offense and defense. Oh no, he's going to be doing a sub as well because I'm seeing that's a timeout coming out from Overkill. So now, change up of lineup, more than likely, and change up of the defensive style, I hope. Because right now, what you're doing, it ain't working.
Well, we'll see who he's swapped out. But, I mean, they do have a little bit of power in their step now. Jump to their step, if you'd like to say that. But, I mean, the defense is still holding solid from the Bucks. Like, I keep saying that, but it really is. They take the interceptions and they run it down the other end of the pitch.
A beautiful dunk there coming out from Giannis of all people. Surprise, surprise coming out there. As really nice fast break coming through on the other side. But in terms of defense, from the side of the Golden State, in terms of offense, they really need to be utilizing screens more. It's the best way to get your 3-point shooters open. And I've only seen maybe 3 or 4 screens coming out this game. Otherwise, you see reckless drives into the key, then trying to pass the ball over the key, and it gets intercepted. Like, you just need to be utilizing the ability to set up your screens, because otherwise right now, as we're seeing, it's just pass after pass into drives. Yes, it works, and it works beautifully, but utilize the screens. Get your 3-pointers open.
Yeah, they do need to do so, and they still have Steph Curry to utilize, so they do have that option as well to be able to do so. However, with the defense from the Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, I keep saying it, but these guys, and even though the AI is controlling it, it's still holding strong. They're doing that man-to-man defense, and it is really working with the height advantage they have over their players.
And that utilization of height has netted what is effectively going close to a 20-point lead now in favor of Silent Distortion's Bucks. And It's going to continue to build there. Well, let down a little bit now, but it's going to continue to build because most times we do get to see Distortion successfully getting the goal, and we're probably going to see it here because oh, actually no, man misses the rebound actually, and immediate foul. God damn.
Yeah, no, Costa Curse. I mean, even the easiest shots are gonna be hard to hit when the caster says, yeah, he's scoring it, and then
Oh wow, he's got someone fouled out. That's what it is.
Atentakumbo has to be taken out.
Yeah, well, he's been fouled out, so there's aggressiveness because we're seeing both players doing quite a bit of fouling here, but it's not the end of the. Oh wait, he was fouled out in 40 points. That's gonna be a major pain, actually.
Yeah, one of the stronger players of the Milwaukee Bucks definitely is gonna take a little bit of a hit for the rest of his team, but hopefully they have brought enough of a lead for them to be able to maintain it as a solid defensive line. Because I mean, even though Giannis was scoring a lot of the points, that's not their main focus anymore.
Yeah, and what was that part? That's just a little bit on the disrespectful side of things. Like, you don't need to yeet the ball down the full length of the court, especially if you're the Bucks, because you've already got such a significant lead. You could take the game a little bit slower. Look for your smarter openings as opposed to trying to force the play, like we're seeing now. So he just needs to take his time, work the shot clock down, and continue keeping the lead. He doesn't have to build it. He just has to keep it.
Yeah, and he's doing that really well. If you look at the scoreline, 72-55, the Milwaukee Bucks are taking their time. I mean, he did try to stop that one, but a pass into the key is going to be able to lay that one up. Really good shot coming out from the Golden State. But with a minute left on the third quarter and them falling further and further behind, I'm not exactly sure the Golden State are looking in the best position to be able to take this one.
Going to be a tall order coming into the fourth quarter to recover the game because the Golden State's the shooting hasn't been brilliant. Of course, as I say that, Nets a beautiful shot. Thanks, Curry. Love eating my words. But they've already gotten themselves into the position where they've been sitting consistently at a 10-point deficit, and hell, they were close to 20 a couple minutes ago. Recovering that situation is possible, especially with the foul out coming out from the Bucks. But it is still such a tall order because even with one of the superstars down, you can just drive into the heart of the key like that.
Yeah, I mean, you got the time, you got the patience. You should be able to do so, especially when you find a little bit of a gap in the defense as well. But speaking of gaps in the defense, there is none coming out from the Milwaukee this time.
Oh, you say that. Again, the curse, Tico. The curse.
Okay, it's bound to happen. If you have the patience, you are potentially going to find an opening, depending on how well the defensive lineup. Oh, there's potential for him to walk that right into the key and do a easy 2-pointer, but he's not going to be able to do so. And they do give that one over to the Milwaukee.
Yeah, Bucks. It did come off the hands of the defense. So of course, it will go back over to the Bucks. I actually love that we're seeing Silent Distortion take this a little bit slower now with the Bucks because there's no need to force the play. You are ahead in goals, which means it is on your opponent to set the tempo of the game if they want to recover. So use all 24 seconds of that shot clock, draw the game out. Because the Golden State, oh my lord. I was going to say, the Golden State Warriors player, when he's playing defense, he isn't playing aggressive. He isn't trying to constantly get up in your face and steal the ball to risk the fouls. He's letting the offense play itself out. So that's 24 seconds effectively you can shave off every single shot clock coming into the fourth quarter here. It's a fantastic way to get yourself a safer way to win the fourth quarter and, of course, the game entirely.
Yeah, well, they have the time, they have the patience, and I love that Distortion is utilizing both moments. And as you said before, utilizing the full time of the shot clock. And even if they don't get a shot off at the end, they've wasted 25 seconds?
24 seconds.
24 seconds. I get confused. They've wasted 24 seconds at the time. And that is precious time that the Golden State could utilize to be able to bring this game back. But unfortunately, they can't if that 24 seconds has been used up by the Bucks. So really all they have to do, and we've said it before, waste down their shot clock, make sure that they remain in possession, and hopefully get it back with an interception down the other end so that they can waste even more time.
It's simply, I'm trying to think of a good way to word it without coming across like a maths teacher. It's the idea of, okay, every 24 seconds, the Milwaukee can score a goal. And given the fact they've already built themselves a significant lead, they're 24 seconds again. They have no need to force the play. They have no need to set the tempo. They can simply let the game play itself out. He's like, all right, cool, I'll sit back. Overkill, though, he is under the gun. He's got about 6 minutes or so. I can't remember the exact timing of a quarter. It's about six minutes to get in effectively 14 points. I get more than that, actually, because that's going with the assumption that, I can do maths correctly, it's 18 points, with the assumption that the Bucks don't score anything. It's 7, not 6. I was horribly wrong. But then every single play, you're losing 24 seconds. So you've effectively got half of the... So you've got 3.5 minutes to score 18 goals. You need to get a goal every single rotation, or else you are just in such a struggled position. It's not undoable, but it is definitely a tall order to pull off.
Plus, the way that Overkill is playing, he wants to get a lot of these shots, and I don't necessarily think, that was a hefty attempt. I don't necessarily think he is focused on his defensive structure, because as you can see, Distortion is walking this ball into the key, and he has a lot of time, and he's got a lot of the spacing as well to be able to take those.
That's a little bit of a heartbreaker there for not working. And now we've entered, this honestly feels a bit weird coming into this fourth quarter, this offensive blitz coming out of both teams. You would assume that Distortion's Bucks would take this a little bit slower, try and waste out the shot clock and of course the game time instead. And again, Bucks defense is so damn annoying. Yeah. Like every single pass, you have to scrutinize to yourself, being like, "Oh God, is this gonna work? Is this gonna get stolen?" And then you're forced to put up shots like that.
Yeah, I mean, fadeaway is not necessarily the most effective way, but if he's trying to take the spacing, there's potential for them to do so. Yeah, but as you said before, they're not necessarily man marking man for man. They're just saying, hey, if you want to take a shot at a three-pointer line, you're welcome to do so. Make sure somebody's on Steph, but then everyone else, they have to try and walk this in a little bit closer to the net.
And the fact that he had, really nice movement there. That should give him a beautiful opening. There it is, nice and easy. Lovely drive. You can't leave him open, but that's one man. And assuming you don't let stuff like that happen again, you should be fine. Oh, no. You can't leave a hole like that in your defense.
No, you definitely can't. And, good interception, but they're not going to be able to remain in possession there. The Golden State, look, Steph is just he's utilizing Steph really well. I love how he's utilizing the spacing, making sure that he gets the space or attempting to get the space. And if he passes it off to another player, yeah, they're going to take the opportunity to run that in towards the net.
Now, 4.5 minutes effectively coming up on our clock here. And the Bucks still have a beautiful lead, another foul coming out. So that should be 2 more points added in here for Silent Distortion as well. And the chances of recovery here for the Golden State are looking grimmer and grimmer because, again, if Distortion realizes, hey, I don't have to shoot until I've got 1 second left on the clock, he's going to be in a fantastic position to just take over this game. Look, he's trying so hard to get Curry open.
There's not too many opportunities there, but there's a good opening space. A bit of a pause there as there's potential to swap out a couple players. But, I mean, yeah, he's trying to get so much spacing on Curry, but I honestly think Distortion knows that he does not want to give Curry any space. He knows that he needs to man mark him, or else every single time that Curry gets an open space, or most of the time, he is going to take those shots and he is going to score those because he's got a high rating on that. I think it's 96 player rating at long range shots.
Yeah. And I think what we saw that pause was basically Distortion saying, okay, let's just overplay Curry, which is to effectively mean let's ensure that even if he doesn't have the ball, he's got a man up in his face at all times, which means A, a shot is going to be very difficult to pull off, and B, even receiving the pass for a ball is going to be a difficult challenge because the interception rate, especially for the Bucks, is quite nice. So that's an ugly shot. I love that.
Mm.
But now it's really put the gun onto Overkill because his best opening to recover this game, his 3-point shooter, he's never going to be given the time of day to be able to actually get those shots open. So he's now going to have to be forced to somehow recover 20 something points in 3 minutes with 2 pointers on the assumption that the Bucks don't score anything on the inside of the paint, which we know isn't going to happen. Like, it is a nigh impossible task right now coming out for Overkill Gamer.
Yeah, and especially when he's relying on his 3-point shooter. He look, they're not the most consistent shots to shoot, and yeah, he's giving them over to Steph Curry, but you don't want to rely on this one player to be able to do so. And the passing plays coming out from the Buck as well.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about how if you have a single player on a team who is your heart when it comes to your offense, your team will struggle. Like, there are so, because all it takes is one smart defender to lock out your one offensive player, and you've got nothing. And we're kind of seeing that here. The Golden State, they're not able to get their 3-pointers online. Curry just is not able to get really anything done. And with Cully being neutralized, coming into his, again, that's just cruel.
Beautiful interception coming out from Eric Bledsoe. As look, that spacing definitely not something that he wanted to take. He doesn't hit Green there, and unfortunately, he's not going to be able to score another one of those 3-pointers. But 20-point lead in favor of the Bucks, and they are going to get the foul as well, pushing their lead potentially even further ahead.
And that's a player from the Golden State now fouled out as well, which in a way you think, oh, it's such a pain. At this point, I fear, Tico, it is irrecoverable. There is 2 minutes left on the clock. The Milwaukee have gained such a significant advantage. It's over 20 points that you're going to have to score a 3-pointer with Curry every single play, and your plays need to be happening basically every almost 10 seconds to recover this kind of situation. And it's just not possible because now we're finally seeing. No way.
He does.
You kidding me?
And this is how you score some 3-pointers, Curry, is basically what he's saying. But I mean, I just think that when we look at NBA 2K as a whole, the Milwaukee Bucks, as they're played, I just think that Distortion is utilizing his team a little bit better and their strengths a little bit better than Overkill is with Golden State. Because, yeah, I mean, Steph Curry is probably one of the strongest players on the Golden State, and really Golden State are, I don't know, probably won't be as strong. I don't want to say this, but probably won't be as strong if it wasn't for Curry. But I still do think that there are other strengths to Golden State that Overkill can utilize.
Unfortunately, we're seeing it here. I think at this point, even Overkill knows what's up. He is just spamming Curry 3-pointers here in full coverage. Distortion's, of course, not going to let that happen. It's being quite nice coverage on most of the recent shots here. But this is over at this point. It is simply far too big of a lead. Silent Distortion, you've got to give this guy credit. He took such an early lead with almost harassing defense. He never gave Overkill a chance to recover the game state once he fell 10 points behind.
Yeah, well, he does take another foul there as well, trying to get some aggressive plays there. But yeah, you're right. And I do think that Overkill has sort of given up here. He's looking to have fun now. Give Steph as many 3-pointers as possible, or just wait it out at his end of the.
I was expecting a half-court shot here coming out. This is over at this point. There is no recovering this situation. So, of course, congratulations, Silent Distortion, rocking the Milwaukee Bucks. Very, very strong performance there. We saw him really utilizing his height and his aggression for his players in the early stage of the game, and his defense. It's a different style of defense to what we saw in the previous week for NBA Meta, but it was such a menace because, Overkill at all times like, I'm on Curry needs to get open. Curry needs to be able to get his 3-pointers for me to get online. And there was never a point where Curry was given the time of day to have that impact for his team.
Yeah, so Distortion played that really well. Utilized his team to get a better overall score, as well as just making sure that they shut down Curry. They make sure that no one can get anywhere near the key, or near the paint, and just getting as many shots from all over the court as well, just to make sure that their all rounder is not, gone.
Well, that is, of course, the wrap up there for New Zealand, where we will see Silent Distortion running forwards to represent the nation in the NBA 2K tournament up against the other states, which you can see later on. That'll be very exciting to see. A thanks to our sponsors, of course, for the NBA 2K games. They are still behind us. We have, of course, Acer Intel, Optus, Torrens University, and Harvey Norman. Now, NBA is done and dusted. However, there are still 2 other games that we have the pleasure to wrap our heads around. Rocket League is right up after this, guys, so do not go anywhere. The Rocket League competition playoffs is right around the corner.
Party pushers.
Dad!
Bring your family together. Optus Family Plan with 4 SIMs and 250 gigs of data to share.